Hey guys, Grayskul here. Today we're going to take a look at my C39 V2 with wooden furniture, and we're going to be making some upgrades to this today. The major upgrades that we're going to be doing are we're going to remove the wooden stock and put on a Magpul fixed stock. We're going to remove this pistol grip and put on a Magpul polymer pistol grip. We're going to be removing these handguards, the old style wooden handguards, and putting on the Magpul accessories there. And a couple little upgrades that we're going to do on the side are we're going to put a Krebs Custom safety on this. The safety that it has now is fine. It works. It has the bolt hold open notch in there that comes in handy. It's a decent safety. The thing I like about the Krebs safety is I can actuate that with my firing hand. So like with this safety, if I'm ready to start firing, I've got to remove my hand from the pistol grip and come over here and knock that down, or come under it and pull it down like that. It's not exactly ideal, so the Krebs safety actually has a little notch that allows me to actuate the safety with the firing hand. So I guess we'll go ahead and get started. The first thing I'm going to do is do a little functions check here to make sure, as you guys can see, there's no magazine inserted. So I'm going to pull the bolt to the rear, check the chamber. Nothing in the chamber, so we're all set to go. So I'm going to go ahead and start disassembling this thing. First thing we're going to do is remove our dust cover. So I'm going to change the camera angle here so you guys can see this a little better. To remove the dust cover is a pretty simple process. You just push in this little recoil spring, has a tab on the back, and you just push that in, and your dust cover just lifts right up and off. So the next thing we're going to do is remove the recoil spring. So I'm just going to push that forward out of its notch, and then it's going to slide right out. The next thing we're going to do is remove our piston and bolt assembly. And you just pull that to the rear, and it should theoretically just lift right out. So there's that. We're going to set all these parts off to the side here. So since we're installing the safety, I'm going to go ahead and do that first, since that's one of the simpler things to do here. To remove your safety, you just lift your safety straight up as high as it will go, and that will loosen it right up, and it pops right out. So I'm going to take this old safety here and set it off to the side. We'll be making a pile here of all the stuff that I'm taking off this, because it's I can still do something with it. I can refinish it later down the road and maybe sell it or put it on something else. But we're going to go ahead and reinstall the Krebs Custom safety, and this is that little tab I was telling you guys about. It's right here. So that actually allows, I'll show you how it works once I get it put in here. But to install that, you've got that little keyhole there, and you can kind of see how it goes in. So you just slide that in there. There's a little notch that it attaches to, or it slips into on this side, and then you just file that down, and it's simple as that, guys. It's not complicated at all. And the other little side upgrade that I'm doing with the furniture upgrade, is I'm adding a single point sling attachment, which goes underneath the pistol grip, and this is made by Echo 93, and it works. It's the only thing I don't really like about this is it drops your grip angle just a little bit, and I'll show you guys in a minute what I mean. But it works great, and it doesn't really cause that many problems. So we're going to go ahead and remove our pistol grip. You guys can see there's a screw in the top. It's a flathead screw. So, oh, and another thing before I get started with that, there's a little nut in here and that's what retains your pistol grip to your receiver. So one thing I like to do, and it's no big deal if this falls out, it's an easy fix, but just to save time, I like to just keep my finger on that and retain that nut so that it doesn't fall off. And I'm kind of a one-man camera show today, guys, so you have to bear with me there. But you just unscrew this. pistol grip pops right off. So now to install this plate, you guys can see this plate just fits. It's got a little square bolt. I'll try to do this on camera so that you guys can see how it fits together. Bear with me, guys. So I'm going to take my plate here. I'm just going to pop that on there like that, and you can see like it's made so in a way that it fits without too much trouble. And then I'm going to take my pistol grip, and this is the Magpul pistol grip. You guys can see that screw that goes up through there. That's a flathead screw. You're just going to try to line that up the best you can for ease there. And then you're just going to take your flathead screwdriver and get this thing started. And sometimes it can be a little bit of a job to get this lined up exactly right. But once you get it started, it goes in fairly easy. So I'm not going to tighten that all the way down just yet, but it is enough for it to hold that nut in place. I'm going to make sure that that's aligned just the way I want it. And then I'm going to come in and just finish snugging that down there. And one thing I like about Magpul is that they do put a little bit of thread locker on their screws, so that once that's in place, it's not going to wiggle around on its own as long as you tighten it down the way you're supposed to. So that takes care of our pistol grip, and it's got this convenient little plate that goes on the bottom of these things so that you can store. Some people store batteries in there if they've got an optic. Some folks will store a bottle of cleaning oil, things like that, and they actually make different attachments for these. One of them actually holds a bottle of cleaning oil. That's pretty cool. Same with batteries, they make different ones. This is just a basic one, and that completes the pistol grip installation. Now we're going to get on to some more of the fun stuff. We're going to stay towards the back of the AK for right now. We're going to go ahead and remove the wooden stock. So there's two little screws. Well, I got the wrong screwdriver. These are Phillips head screws. There's a screw here and a screw here. We're going to take both of those out. It doesn't matter which order you go in here, guys. I'm starting with the back screw, but I mean it really doesn't make a difference. However, it's convenient for you to take it out. So I'm going to set this screw over here to stay with the stock, because the Magpul stock that we're going to be putting on, it doesn't use these, so it uses a different setup that I'll get to here in a minute and show you guys how that goes together. I'm going to set those over off to the side. Now, sometimes these things can be stubborn. This particular model was not, but sometimes they can be. This model just pulls right off, and I'm going to show you guys a little trick here to get these off if they are stubborn. Push it from the inside. There's a little, I don't know if you guys will be able to see it on camera here, but there's a little spot right there where you can actually see the stock poking through. A lot of times if it's being stubborn, you can just take it and push on it right there and it'll pop right off. So just food for thought for later down the road if any of you guys are interested in changing out some of your Magpul furniture, or changing out your original furniture and putting some Magpul stuff on there. So we're going to go ahead and continue with the stock installation. Let's see here, guys. This is the stock that's going on. This is the fixed MOE AK stock by Magpul, and you guys can see it's got this little nut on the end here. And what this does is this helps keep your stock from rattling around when it's installed. Now I will tell you guys that this C39 V2 is a milled receiver. This is stamped furniture, so I did have to do some fitting on these to get these to work with the stamp system. I don't know if Magpul produces like a proprietary model that they haven't released to the public yet that ships on the C39 V2s with the Magpul stock or the Magpul furniture. I don't know, but these did require some fitting. There's little tabs here on the side, right where my finger is there. I had to file that down a little bit, and then I had to file some on this other side, and there's some little tabs up here that had to be filed down. Not much, just a bit to get that to fit in there. So enough about. I will try to do a video later on down the road illustrating how to do that. If any of you guys out there have a C39 V2 with the wood furniture and you want to change it over to the Magpul stuff. So we're going to go ahead and slide this in here. So I mean I almost forgot. This is important. There's these little nuts that go in to this thing, and this is what is going to help hold on there's a little slot right here where these fit. So this one, you're going to put the hole towards the back, and you're just going to slide it. I hope my hand's not blocking this. I'm just going to slide it in to that slot right there, and then just rock it back all the way back. And then you're going to take this one, and it's going to go kind of the opposite way, but on both of these nuts, the bevel, there's a little bevel right there. That bevel is going to be facing down. That's important to note. So you're going to slide that one in. It's going to go in just like that. So, and now once you get these in, you'll have to wobble this around a little bit to get these to line up with the holes. But it's important to make sure that you get those in there before you get to put the stock on, because if not, you're going to take it off and redo that. It's a pain in the butt. So, and with this thing, the little nut that goes on the end here, you don't want to tighten this down before your installation. You want this to be loose, and you want the screw that's in the back to just be on there enough to not fall off. Because when you start to tighten that down, it's going to expand this out, and that's what's going to give you a solid hold. So just make sure that it's on there. You want it to be on there, but you don't want it to be snug down. You want there to be some play, a lot of play in the back of that before we start with the install. So I'm going to try to do this where you guys can see it. Hopefully it works out. But I think that fell out. So that's another thing too, guys. I may not be able to show you that on camera the way I'd like to, but you guys can get the basic gist of it there. That nut was falling out on me, and that's not good. So, all right. Okay, so now you've got two screws. You have a screw with a fairly large head, and it's got a little tiny body. That's going to be your rear screw, and that's going to lock down there. And then fortunately, these come with a Allen wrench to use on this, so just gonna get that one. And you may have to finagle these a little bit to get them lined up exactly right. So, and I'm not going to crank these down just yet. I'm going to just get them just snug enough to work. So. Then I'm going to come around here, and this is the one I'm going to go ahead and tighten down all the way. Let me slide this over so you guys can see it a little better. Alright, so that thing is tight. Snugging it up there. So that's good. Now I'm going to come back up here and finish tightening these two down. Alright, so now that part's done. So there's a little piece here, and this is really cool. Magpul makes this so that you can actually install a like a cleaning kit setup in the back of this, and it also protects your screws. They're on the inside, but that just flips up. You can store your cleaning kits in there if you want to. A standard AK cleaning kit fits in here. That's pretty cool, and it locks up secure. You guys can hear it clicking in place there. So that's our stock, and that locks up pretty nice and tight there. So now, next thing we're going to do is take off our wooden handguards. So, and for this, we're going to need our bolt carriers. So I'm going to go ahead and drop the bolt out of this just so it's not wobbling around and floating or falling on the floor. So, and they make these bolts with little notches on the side there. And what you can do with that notch is you can slide this is your gas tube retention setup right here, and the notch on that bolt allows you to just pop that thing up, and that will release the tension on your gas tube. So I'm going to pull that off and set that off to the side. Now we're going to take off the bottom handguard, and there's a little tab right here. So we're just going to slide that screwdriver in and pry that little tab up. Pop that thing all the way forward, and then we'll have to use my nylon tipped mallet here to knock that retention clip off. And as you can see, that handguard just falls right off. So I'm going to set this over here with the stock and the safety, and set the rifle down for a second. So then with these things, guys, these can be kind of, this one's not in particularly, hopefully I save that now, I'll be doing this for 45 minutes. But this one has never given me any problems coming off, but sometimes they will, in which case you can use a crescent wrench and lock it down on this piece and use it to twist. On a lot of these newer models, you don't have to worry about that. They'll twist right off, and I'll show you how to do that. You grab it, try to get this on camera. You grab it right here, and then you can just twist it, and once it's upside down, it falls right off. And then the Magpul, it installs the exact opposite way that the previous one went off. You'll put it on upside down like this. You pop it on there, and then you just twist it. And that's how that one lines up, and that's what it looks like with the Magpul gas tube setup. So I'm going to set this off to the side. We'll come back to that here in a minute. Now, guys, with this one required a little more fitting than just about anything else I've had to fit. So this is a setup for a stamped receiver, and normally around this little doodad there are little plastic tabs, little polymer tabs. And what I had to do to get this to fit was I had to file all these tabs off so that it fit into this little slot right here. A stamped receiver slot looks a little different. This is a milled receiver, so it did require some fitting. So it may give me some trouble going back on. We'll have to wait and see. I'll try to install this on camera. If I can't, I may have to take it off camera for a second just to get a better grip on it, but we'll try to do it on camera first and see how that goes. One thing that will help you out a lot is this little retention clip. You want to put this up and out of the way, and you can lock that little tab down, and that should keep it from moving around too much on you. So once I get that somewhat lined up there we go. I actually went on that time. Not too much better. I'm just going to take my nylon tip mallet and just kind of make sure that that's good and snug on there. And I'm going to take this little piece and try to put that down. It looks like I'm a little bit off. It needs to go on just a little bit more. So I'm going to take the mallet. So, like I said, guys, I'll try to get as much of this on camera as I can. It can be a little particular here. Okay, so, and that went right back on, just like it should. So, there you go, guys. There's the, and funny little story about this. I went ahead and I put this the Magpul foregrip on before I did the installation, just because I'm kind of new to this whole M-lock system. You can see there's no rail on that, and I just wanted to make sure that I had it right and I wasn't filming around for 20 minutes on there. And to be honest, they're kind of a pain in the butt to get off, so I elected not to take it off for this video. So, and any of you guys can read the instructions that come with it and see how the M-lock system works. But it is a little finicky, so I didn't want to spend a whole lot of time trying to get that thing off and on. So this little thing sometimes. Oh, one other thing. When I was doing the fitting process, the only thing I had to do to this to get it to fit right was I had to take about 1/8 of an inch off of these little tabs that marry up with the bottom handguard. It was putting it just a little bit too high, and it wouldn't let the gas tube retention clip settle down on there. So I did have to modify that as well. And like I said before, guys, I'm going to do a separate video later down the road to show you what the fitting process entails for this setup. So once you I talked through this part. So to install this, you want to just place that top piece right there and just lower it down on there. Then it'll snap into place like that, and then you can come over here and just tap this guy back into place, or you can use the notch on the bolt to do this too. But you'll feel it when it's in the right spot. You'll feel like a little click there, and you can see that that's put back together. So we've gone from the C39 V2 with the wood furniture to a C39 V2 with all the high-speed Magpul fixings. So I'm going to go ahead and put this baby back together and show you guys how that process works. So you guys saw me drop the bolt out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop my bolt back in, and then you'll have to rotate it around a little bit to get it in the right spot. So your bolt will look like this inside the carrier whenever you're ready to drop it back in. So I'm going to just get that set up there, slide it down the rails, slide that forward. So there's your bolt going back in. Here's your recoil spring, and that's just going to slide into the top there where the piston is. And there's a little slot. I'll show you guys if I can get this on camera. There's a little little slot right there where this thing's going to just pop right back into place. So, and that's how it looks when it's set up there. Then we're ready to install our dust cover back on. And guys, I've kind of learned a little trick to this with these. Some of your like the Romanian AKs, things like that, some of those guys will just pop right back into place. But I've noticed on the C39s and the Dracos, they do give you a little bit of problem. So a little trick to throw these back on, really easy, is to take your recoil spring. There's a little tab that sticks out there, and just compress that just a little bit, and then get your dust cover fitted in the right place, and just snap that down, and that's on there, and it's solid. So put my safety back on. Let you guys have a quick look at this in its entirety. So that is the C39 V2 gone from wood furniture to a Magpul setup. So, alright, so thank you guys for watching. This is King Grayskul. I don't know if I mentioned that at the beginning. I appreciate you guys watching. Thank you for your time. Check me out on Twitch. Try to stream as often as I can. When I'm not streaming on my own, I'm usually streaming with Lone Wolf ACR. Check him out on Twitch as well. We do a lot of gun topics. We're usually talking something about guns or something that's going on in the gun community. Like I said before, I appreciate you guys watching. Thanks for your time, and I will see you guys again soon.